Hi Dee. Hi Amanda.
Hi.
Thanks
Hello.
both for joining us. We're talking from GScene just to see how everything's going with the council. And you're both on the equalities, well, the Tourism, Equalities, Communities and Culture Committee, the tech committee. And actually that's a with the stuff coming up, that's a big portfolio, isn't it? Yeah. Because sorry, I should introduce you better as well. There's Dee Simson, who's what's your ward? Your Wooding Dean.
Wooding Dean.
Right. And Councillor Amanda Grimshaw.
My ward is Morscombe and Bellendine. Yeah.
Okay, so it's going to be quite a year for your committee, isn't it? Because I mean, you're in your portfolio and your brief is all the events that happen, all the stuff around entertainment and theatre and tourism, and they're huge. All those things together are a huge part of the economy in Brighton and Hove.
Well, I think the sad thing is pride. You know, we're losing a major event in the city, as well as the Brighton Festival, the Fringe, all that. It's going to hit the city really badly. Yeah. And of course, with the infrastructure around that, in terms of hotels and restaurants and employment, Brexit was going to have a huge effect on there as well. But who knows what we'll come out with in the wash, with what businesses are going to be able to survive. And, absolutely.
Yeah. What the world is going to look like at the other side of that is very well, it is a worry, but in the end, I suppose we're all in the same boat.
Yes.
In terms of the bigger picture, and there may be some good comes out of it.
So basically, where you've got the SETS team, so they've been reorganised into smaller teams, which focuses on communities. So it's ensuring that LGBTQ plus issues are highlighted and raised where appropriate. And they are considering how new service arrangements are impacting on the city and groups. And then they're taking an intersectional approach to this and then directing people to cells. These cells have been set up, so one cell focuses on one area and then another cell. So one of the things that has come up is that some LGBTQ people are perhaps having to go back home, live at home, or live perhaps in a shared house, which is not their normal environment, and perhaps it's a hostile environment, and they know that's causing a lot of added pressure. So the local charities and third sector groups are looking into what can be done to support them and ensure that if they've got any concerns, they can point them in the right direction and then get it back to the right emergency cell. Mm-hmm. That's one part. And then we've got a vulnerable people cell, and they have agreed to have an LGBTQ plus actual work stream and a BAME work stream, and it ensures that the council are considering the impacts of COVID-19 on residents with protected characteristics.
You mentioned there about the third sector groups, and obviously they've come to the fore in through crisis. And I sit on the members advisory group, and what we agreed right at the start of, so obviously it's a cross-party group, we agreed right at the start of this whole process was that we would release £150,000 of the resilience grant money, which is the community grants, so that people could apply to it, the third sector organisations could apply to it to run the services within these cells. And obviously, personally, I'm involved with the food cell because that's what I've been doing. I've been running a food hub. But we've had an awful lot of applications from community and voluntary sector groups for that money out of that 150,000. We've already allocated the first tranche. We've got a meeting tomorrow morning to look at the next lot. But I think it was really important that that we gave money to these groups that are doing all this good work.
I'm really glad, Dee, that you're on that board, because I've got loads of stuff. So you saved me doing that. I've just got some figures about like I think from the Communities Fund for COVID-19 LGBT Switchboard has got a grant which is to help with the software really and how they deliver their remote service. Ditch the Label, I've got some money. Citywide newsletter apparently is coming out, which is aimed at the community's interest. Go out this week with information for LGBTQ plus communities and support for the BME and the faith communities. And then this work around digital exclusion and finding sort of practical ways of helping people stay connected, you know, so if they've got their internet capable, but they haven't got the internet or they haven't got the right devices. So there is some really good stuff coming out, which has been one of the highlights, like you say, of seeing literally everybody pulled together with that. It's almost like a war spirit, isn't it? Where people are coming out to help everybody.
And that's one of the interesting applications that we've had through this, from this new grant stream, because a lot of organisations have put in applications for money to buy laptops, etc., for people who are isolated, which is, you know, I think that's a good use of the money. It's a different way, something we haven't done before. So I think it's a really good use of the funds. It gets people thinking in different ways as well. You know, it's, as I said, it's something we've never explored before. You wouldn't think about giving out grants to buy people laptops or to put the internet into their homes, but, you know, it's really important.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you both very much for coming on.
No, well done.
Well, great to talk to you both. Maybe
depending
on how long this goes on, we can check in with you again.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right.
Have you got a